Hey guys, welcome to our weekly community AMA. Hope you guys are all having a great week. It's been pretty exciting on BNB Chain. It's been really blowing up. It's been getting all kinds of volume, and BNB price has been doing spectacular. Got BNB on the left here. Seems to want to keep pushing new all-time highs up. Hit almost 1350. So looking really great for all the projects on BNB. And we got some, as you guys know, we got some real spectacular projects on BNB Chain. And I got some nice updates to go over today. We're gonna start with Book. Book, with BNB price moving up, Book has been also doing well. It's also seeing some nice buys. It's in a little bit of a pullback today, I guess, with BNB pulling back and a couple small sells. But overall, things are looking great for Book. And I know I say it all the time, but with our Book USD protocol, as Book gets strength, it just amplifies on itself. It makes people more willing to borrow BUD against their Book, and that borrowing drives up the price of BUS and the value of BUS, which then pushes the APRs up on. Actually, I guess I could open this to show you guys. Pushes the APRs up on the stability pool, and it's a really great system, and we just need to see some positive price action on Book to really have it running full steam. So I think that's going to be happening in our immediate future. Next thing I'll go over is something I brought up last stream. I've got some good news about that and something to show you guys. So the Perpetual Decks, this is something that I have fully completed now, setting up for you guys. So we're going to be releasing this right now. So you guys are going to be able to connect your wallets here, basically deposit from any of the supported chains. I can, switch up which chains are supported, but right now we're supporting Base, Ethereum, Solana, and BNB Chain. And if you guys are trading, on leverage, it makes sense to do it on our own DEX. It's there's a lot of benefits to, any of you guys using our DEX versus using something else, largely because the fees that we accumulate from all of those trades, we're going to use 100% of that to go back into the ecosystem, largely for buybacks and just start building back up the Book treasury. So I got a couple more things to show you. I'll start sharing some links for this. So there's actually two different ways that you can access the DEX. I guess I can go over a little bit more. So we're using Orderly One as the backend for the DEX. So essentially, we're already fully properly set up with them. They have there's basically two different ways you can deploy your DEX with them. There's a no code solution. And there's also one where you can kind of customize it more yourself. And you guys know me, I'm more of a customize it kind of guy than to do a no code solution. I do have both deployed right now. Although the no code one is a little slightly more polished, just because I'm still working on a couple things on the custom one. But just to show you guys, they have this DEX board here that shows all of the different DEXs, and by default it's sorting by volume. So if we can get volume picked up on ours, our DEX is going to show up much higher in this list. Right now I think it's only been me just testing it a little bit, but we're here on this second page. I'm going to put a nicer banner there, but you can see this has a link to our token with its market cap and price. And as soon as we get some volume up, this listing is going to be much higher up on the list. So it's going to give Book and the Book token a ton more visibility. So that's going to be super bullish. So I'll drop the link so that you guys can see how to interact with that. So this is the no code one. This is a bit more polished. To be honest, the only real difference is that this one has a proper mobile menu. I didn't get that set up in mine yet. So if you're on mobile, you can access everything still. On my custom one, as soon as you're in mobile view, this menu button's not there. So I'll fix that soon. But for now, you can just access it at dex.bookmemebsc.com. I'll throw that into the chat here, and we'll make an announcement about this after the stream. But this is already fully set up. When you go to connect, you'll see. Okay, so this is giving me this notice because we've graduated, because this wallet's actually already used the demo platform. So it's just giving me a notice that, if I want to still access funds that were on the demo platform, that's kind of separate now that, now that we have our own proper version of the DEX. So you guys won't see that unless you set up an account on the demo. But But yeah, I mean, here I am. I'm in. Yeah, it's all working properly. When you go to set up your account, like you'll even see that when you sign the message, it's going to say like the broker ID is book DEX, and that's how you can. I mean, not that you need to confirm it, but that's how you'll know that like you're using the correct DEX. I mean, if you're on our URL, it's basically has to be the correct DEX. The other one that is going to be at bookdex.xyz. This is the custom one. This is also, again, it's connected up with the exact same broker ID. So, I mean, if you open a position or you make a deposit on this one, it's going to also appear here because it's the exact same account. I mean, you can see like I only have $10 in here, but that's equal across both of them. It's the exact same account. So yeah, I mean, it's a full featured DEX. You can go up to 100x leverage on a lot of the coins. Some of them have a 10x or 20x limit, but yeah, it's I've tried it quite a bit, and it works great. It's getting a lot of volume on some of the other DEXs. Like some of the other guys that have deployed it are doing pretty big volume on it. So yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys can do, and if we can get that volume pumped up a little bit, and get higher up on the DEX board here, and that'll get a lot more awareness on Book and the Book token. So let me know what you guys think about that. Are you guys going to start trading some perpetuals on our new DEX? No comments yet on that, but maybe everyone's quiet today. But okay, something else major coming for the ecosystem is I discussed in the last couple of AMAs about a big marketing deal that I'm looking to push through, and it looks like I'm going to be very likely finalizing that deal early next week. Oh, we got a comment. Hey Eric, looks amazing. Yeah, it looks great. It functions great. It's a really polished product, to be honest. I think it's new territory for some of us. Yeah, for anyone, that's actually a great point. For anyone that's not like super familiar with trading on leverage, I do suggest doing some research and being really careful. It's quite easy to lose money trading on leverage, especially with the level of. I mean, the markets are incredibly volatile, and I'm hearing everyone saying that there's more manipulation in the markets than ever. So yeah, just be really careful. Maybe start out with lower leverage. Don't go 100x. Maybe go 5, 10x, and you can do stuff like you can set like stop losses and take profit targets. So you can basically limit your downside. Like one thing I'd suggest is whenever you open a leverage position, you pretty much always want to have a stop loss in place, even if it's just a little bit above your liquidation price, because you lose 100% of the capital in that investment when it gets liquidated. But if you do a stop loss just like slightly above that liquidation price, you're still going to retain a lot, not a lot, but it really depends on the values you set. You'll still retain some of the capital. So I'd suggest like always, I mean, I only have $10 in here right now, but I can kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So let's put in a long. I don't know how well you can see this. I'll try and zoom in a bit. So here's the position here. Liquidation price is right around 43.02. So if ETH goes below that, I'm going to lose that $10. I mean, this is not really too important on a $10 position, but I'll just show you as if it was a bigger position. So stop loss trigger price, you just want to set this a little bit higher than your liquidation price. I mean, or you can set it a lot higher. It's up to you, but I mean, you definitely want to have it higher than, something like 43.05, let's say, right? And then that way, if this was like $1,000 position, instead of me losing the $1,000, if I get liquidated, I'll still have, I don't know, like maybe $400 or $500 in the account, just because of the stop loss as opposed to getting liquidated. So definitely make sure you do that. And again, you guys don't have to set it so close to the liquidation price. You could say, okay, if you think the market's about to pump, maybe you say, okay, well, I don't want to lose that much if it starts going down. Maybe you want to go 43.15, right? So you have full flexibility to set all that up exactly how you want. I mean, and there's also the other side of it, which is, a take profit. You could say, okay, well, at 44.20, I want to take profit, right? So a lot of different stuff you can do there to kind of protect your capital and to lock in some profits as well. You also don't need to do a full take profit stop loss. You could do partials as well. if you want to just have part of the position either, exit at a certain price or take profit at a certain price. So, but yeah, that was a great point. So yeah, just be really careful if you're new to leverage trading. I mean, like everybody in leverage trading should be careful and understand the risks, and only make moves that where you can afford to lose the capital in case it doesn't go your way. But yeah, there is a lot of money to be made there if you can, if you get some good trades in there. I will definitely use it. Yeah, I mean, I'd love for you guys to use this as much as possible, and get our volume boosted up, get us on that first page of the DEX board on Orderly, and it'll generate some great fees, which will pump the ecosystem, and overall just get a ton more awareness on the tokens. So yeah, so I was touching on real briefly there that we're going to be almost for sure we're going to be closing a deal with a huge KOL early next week, which is going to get us it's going to be a year-long deal that we're doing. So it's going to be getting us many tweets every week. Like I believe it was 3 or 4. We're going to be getting I believe it's like 2 videos a month, 1 or 2 videos a month. They have like I think 4 million followers on Facebook that we're going to be getting posts out there and stories out there, and same with Instagram. Instagram I think is like 2 or 3 million followers. So it's gonna be an incredible amount of new awareness for the ecosystem. So now's the chance to front run that, because like I said, I got a call coming up early next week, and I really liked everything that we discussed last time we had the call. So I just had to kind of figure out if we wanted to pull the trigger on it, and I'm confident that it's the time to pull the trigger. So everybody here in the AMA, you got the heads up that huge awareness is coming very soon. And I mean, with the way that BNB Chain is looking, I think it's a perfect recipe for success here. Okay, let's move on. So let's talk about Blue for a little bit. We had our biggest buy winner. They got paid out 400 USDC. So congrats on that. Knox in our community, he's been doing a lot for Book to raise awareness, and he's been, it's been helping a lot. You guys can see the Book chart. I mean, obviously we're in a little bit of a pullback now with the markets taking a little bit of a breather today. But the Book has been doing exceptional, and couldn't have said it any better myself. Buy now or cry later. You got it, man. But the efforts that Knox has been putting in on Book, he's going to be doing those same things on Blue. I think he's already started a little bit, but he's going to be going full force on Blue, just like he has been on Book. So that's going to be raid competitions and all kinds of activity in the Telegram, and we're going to be all over X. Like I know when I check my X feed, when he has these raids going on, like every single thing in my feed is a reply to a great tweet, and it's really doing an awesome job raising awareness. So that focus is going to include Blue a lot more heavily. I think he's starting that up very, very soon. In addition, we also are very close to the 3-month time frame in terms of Blue having been launched. So it's time to have our governance vote, and that's I've always said like having your Blue and G Blue is probably makes sense, just because obviously you earn your rewards the same whether you're in G Blue or S Blue. But for governance related stuff like having an official governance vote, you're going to only qualify for voting power if you have G Blue. So I'd suggest everyone, I mean, for that reason and others, I think it just makes sense for the most part to keep your Blue staked as G Blue. So staked and then wrapped to G Blue. But I meid love to hear you guys' feedback. Like, what are you guys' initial thoughts on changing up the APR? I mean, I think we're going to do a governance vote regardless, but I'd love to hear some early thoughts and opinions on that. I guess I could give my opinion while I'm waiting for you guys to chime in the chat. I think it could probably do with a little reduction. I mean, I think that, this is a degen protocol where, it thrives on big gains. So I think it's something where we shouldn't, I don't think we should nerf it to the point of like where Ohm has nerfed theirs, like Olympus DAO. But I think that it could, maybe come down to something, I don't know, 1% a day, or, I don't know. I think there's a lot of different numbers that can work. I think at the end of the day, like, what's going to make Blue as successful as possible is to have people bullish on it and get the momentum going, which, our marketing campaigns are going to take care of making that happen. So I think it's probably cattail. I think it's probably fine either way, but yeah, I think for the longevity of it, it's probably best to drop it down a little bit. 1% seems realistic. Does it make sense if there is a BNB alt season? Yes, I mean that's a good question too. BNB is absolutely flying, and with the new attention that we're going to get on Blue, having a high APR does make it more enticing. But again, 1% is still a high APR too, right? It seems like there's some split decisions here, so I think it's going to be a really interesting community vote then. So yeah, like I said, make sure you guys have your Blue and G Blue if you want to contribute to that vote, because the way that it's going to work is once I create the vote, it's going to do a snapshot at that moment of who has G Blue. And like the reason that it does that is it can't just check like your G Blue at the time that you're voting, or else you could kind of vote with your G Blue and send your G Blue to another address and vote with that address, and you could keep doing that. So that's why it's kind of just going to take a snapshot at, on a single block, and that's going to dictate all the voting power for that vote. I'd suggest keeping it close to the current numbers. I agree, 1% would look good. Yeah, so the one thing I have to figure out is how we're going to set up that vote, because I guess there's two different questions to answer there. It's like, do we change the APR or not? And then like, if we do change it, what do we change it to? So I'll have to figure out the best way if I want to try to incorporate all of those decisions into a single vote, or if there should be like a two-stage vote where first we vote if there is an APR change or not, and then if we do vote that it should be changed, then we can have a second vote about how much we should change it. I'll have a little think on that, or if you guys have any suggestions, or if it seems to be like, if the community consensus seems to be like, a lot of guys in the chat here are saying 1% seems good. If I can get a lot more feedback from the community between now and when we create that vote, it could be as simple as, do we keep the APR at what it's at now, or do we change it to 1%? If that's like what, it seems to be the consensus of what a lot of people would like. So that would kind of simplify the voting process. 1% to start process of curbing inflation. Yeah. What about a tiered rate depending on how many G Blue you have? That we can't change. So this protocol is it's a fork of Olympus DAO. It's a bulletproof protocol, and a lot of it is immutable, right? There's most of the functionality within the protocol we can't change, and that's for the security of all the holders. You guys know that things aren't going to just start working completely differently tomorrow. But one thing that we can do is we can alter the rebase rate or the reward rate. Also, if there's a big change in APR, would it cause a massive sell-off? That's hard to say, right? Like you might have some people selling off because they're not happy with the new APR, but you might also have other people buying in because they feel that APR is more realistic and sustainable. So that's really tough to say. What are the consequences if we keep it the same or lower? The main issue with the current APR is just that over a long period of time, the rewards build up really fast, right? The compound effect starts to, again, it's 50,000% APY. So, that's like a 500x of your tokens over the course of a year. So, when you look at longer time frames, a higher APR, it leads to inflation problems. So I think that, probably what a lot of the guys in the chat have said, about 1% is, it's a number that would make that long-term inflation a lot more manageable, but it's still a very attractive number. So I think, and especially the way that we're showing the daily rate now, like the way that we arrived at the 1.71% is because I worked backwards from 50,000% APY to get to that. So that's why we kind of have like a number that's not a round number. I think 1% a day could look pretty nice there. 1% sounds the best option. Yes, that's what I was thinking. 1% is comparable to other projects. Okay, well, I do want to get I really appreciate the feedback that we've gotten in the chat here, but I know that this is just a subset of the full community. So maybe what we'll do is we'll start a poll in the Telegram channel just to see, just to get a little bit more feedback on what people would maybe like to see in the vote. But from everything I can see in the chat right now, it seems like it's just going to be a simple vote of, do we leave the APR at what it's at right now, or do we move it to 1%? So let's just make sure that a large percentage of the community kind of feels like those are two good options for the vote, and yeah, then we can get that going. We'll use a protocol called Snapshot. I think it's like snapshot.org, and they got great setups there where we can configure the Blue protocol, configure the GBlue governance token, and yeah, I can set up the vote there, and it's all works super smooth. All right. Anybody have any questions about anything that we discussed so far? I'm going to go over Borean as well a little bit. I know a lot of guys have had a lot of questions in the Telegram about that. Although I do want to say, guys, that like the Blue Telegram, we really got to keep that focus to Blue. I know that you guys received the GBlue holders there did receive a nice airdrop, but questions related to that protocol, just to keep the Blue BNB Telegram on topic. Let's try to keep the discussion to Blue there. Any update on the banner ads? I should have an update for you right now, but I've been a little bit busy with other things. I have not pushed that forward yet, but I'm still planning on doing that. So I mean, I think that our big KOL deal is going to probably be a even more bullish thing than the banner ads, but we are still going to get those going. I still think that the Blue website is beautiful, and it's something where we can drive traffic here and hopefully convert some of that traffic to investors. I mean, I think it's definitely something that's worth trying. I've got 3 different accounts with 3 different companies that'll let me put through crypto banner ads. So I think we should definitely pay and get some traffic flowing to the website. And if that traffic can convert, if a percentage of that traffic can convert, we can just start, paying more and more for more impressions and more views and visits. Are we still building a raffle ticket system for Blue? Yeah, I think that's a great idea still. And again, Blue, now that its entire LP is V2, it makes things a lot simpler for tracking buys. So yeah, that's definitely something that's still going to be done. All right. Yeah, let's talk about Borean a little bit. It's we just had the emissions go live on this yesterday, and yeah, I mean TVL on this has been skyrocketing. It's at 7.2 mil now. It's looking super strong there. If you look at Abstract Chain, 7.5 mil volume in 24 hours. We're just about to overtake the incumbent Abstract Swap. They've been here since the chain launched, and yeah, really exciting to see that, because of some of the things that have been done, that and the style of the pools that we offer, that yeah, the volume, that number's been really climbing. Last I looked, that was at like 6.5. So very exciting that it's about to overtake all the other dexes in volume. So only a couple days into the protocol. Token price, the market cap went up to a little over 150 million. I think with emissions starting yesterday, a couple guys that had bought earlier got a little bit worried about the emissions and what that might do with the price. So there's been a little bit of a sell-off in the last day. But yeah, if anybody's looking to enter this is likely, not financial advice, but this is likely a great entry here. And I mean, you can see this is a lot of these LPs are paying incredible APRs for getting involved. So definitely a lot of opportunity here. Pretty exciting stuff. And I know, like, in terms of, like, you guys got the airdrop for the locks, and I know you guys got your votes in for the gauges. There's been some front end issues that have been working on. I think our front end guy is actually working on that right now. So I think the vote, being able to claim your rewards from votes, I believe that's been fully fixed this morning. If it's not 100% fixed, it will be very, very soon. So you guys should be able to go on the dashboard and be able to claim incentives from, whatever gauges you guys voted on. And, at the end of this epoch, you'll be able to claim trading fees that were accumulated throughout this week. But yeah, super bullish what's going on here. Did anybody have any questions about their airdrop or anything? Because I guess instead of having those questions in the blue chat, I'd love to answer them directly over the AMA if you guys have any questions. Nope, got mine. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're having a little bit of just, this is obviously the first epoch on mainnet. So we've had some small issues with like load on the website. Some of our subgraphs have been rate limited just due to a lot of traffic, and some of the we're still fine tuning some things on the front end. So it will get better much sooner. Our airdrop is locked forever, correct? Yep, it's locked forever. So basically, it gives you forever. You're going to be able to earn from that. So it's actually something that I've said incorrectly in the past is that you actually don't need to vote every week if you don't want to. Like, your vote by default will carry over to the next week. So essentially, if you like a particular gauge or a couple gauge, you can just basically vote once and just leave it there, and then every week you can come in and collect your rewards. For some people are actually selling their airdrop. So you could go on OpenSea and you could list your airdrop, your VE ABX position. It is a transferable NFT, and a lot of guys really see the value in VE ABX because just the ability to be able to dictate future emissions is incredibly valuable in itself. And on top of that, obviously, you're able to collect trading fee rewards and incentives with that. So, a lot of guys are interested in buying those. If anybody's selling them at a discount on OpenSea, there's been, I think, 5 ETH of volume on that already. Maybe we could take a quick look at that, I guess. Yeah, there's been over 5 ETH of volume on the VE ABX position. So, I wouldn't suggest selling it. I'd say, even look for any that are selling at a discount and maybe snatch them up. But that is, you guys are free to use that if you want to. Did an LP as well. Awesome. Got my airdrop, and thanks again for this chance. Yeah, you bet, man. Any thoughts on G Blue cross chain? Yeah, I'd love to go G Blue cross chain. Obviously it's a little bit early. Borean just launched, but we can definitely look in the future to potentially bringing G Blue onto Abstract. Oh, cat's going crazy. But yeah, no, I think G Blue, one of the main benefits of G Blue is that it's able to be used cross chain and still, receive the rebase rewards just because of the whole way that token works. So any opportunities that we have on other chains, we can definitely explore. And for example, like Axelar, we use them for bridging with MSS before, for bridging from BNB to base chain and back and forth. And Axelar supports all kinds of chains. Actually, I noticed, I just checked recently, and they support Sui now. So maybe we could do some kind of collab with some of these amazing Sui projects that are out there. But yeah, they don't yet support Abstract. So in terms of getting to Abstract, we'd have to find a different bridge provider or wait for Axelar to support that. When is auto voting coming? So just to, again, reiterate what I just mentioned, like, you actually can just vote once and have it, that vote will just stay sticky, I guess. So unless you place another vote in the next epoch, your vote will stay in the same place as it was previously. But there is something more advanced that we're going to be coming out with in in the future. I don't have an ETA on that yet, but that's something where it's going to basically fully manage your position for you, where it's going to like be able to auto claim the rewards and compound it back in. And there's a lot of intricacies to that. And there's there's going to be a lot of, you can, to be honest, you can look at other similar protocols. They have those systems in place already, and ours would work quite similar to that. Cannot collect my rewards as yet. Got an error. So there was some front end issues with rewards showing up. You shouldn't, if they're showing up for you, you shouldn't have an error collecting them. I'd suggest maybe trying again. Did not get my airdrop, held G Blue. Well, I mean, as far as I know, like anybody that was holding G Blue when the snapshot came in, as long as the amount wasn't like a very small amount, you should have got the airdrop. I mean, I can't really retroactively go back and give someone an airdrop. I mean, if you really want, somebody could look into your wallet and see, why that might not have been included. But I mean, there's really not much I can do about that. So no need to vote every week on an epoch. No, you don't need to. Unless you want to change up, right? Like if you see some big incentives on a new gauge, maybe you want to switch. I would suggest at least checking in once a week and just collecting your rewards and maybe seeing if there's another gauge that you'd rather vote on. Because I mean, we're going to be filling out the stats on the voting page so that there's a lot more information about what fees were generated in the previous week and the total incentives, and that's going to make it a lot easier to make an informed decision on where you might want to vote. Just tried and got them. Thanks. Fully clear now. Thanks. Yep, you guys. You bet. Yeah, it's pretty exciting, guys. Like, I mean, Abstract's been around for, I saw Reservoir Swap has been up for, I think, 8 or 9 months, I think. And, for our decks to already be, we might have already even surpassed their volume. 7.5, 7. Yeah. So last 24 hours, we've just overtaken them in volume. So that is pretty insane for something that's, only a couple days old. How do we vote? Please give step-by-step instructions. All right. Let me go to a wallet that's got a position. I think I got a small one on here. Nope. Okay. So, actually, I guess I'll answer this question first real quick. Where do you see airdrop? So your airdrop, you'd find in the locks page. So if you have an airdrop, you'll see it right here. This is a position that I made myself. This wasn't an airdrop, just for testing stuff. But yeah, if you go to the Aborian site and you go to the locks page, you'll see it there. So we got this. Paul, he asked, how do we vote? And with our airdrop, how do we start earning with it? So you earn with it just by voting. So, the way that you vote is you just pick your lock at the bottom. Let me move that. You pick your lock at the bottom. You can see I selected it. Then you can pick as one or multiple gauges to vote on. So right now we're doing an update to this. So right now you can't see incentives and other information that's pretty important to decide what you want to vote on. But should be fully updated today. I know our guy's working on it right now. So, for example, if you wanted to vote on the big gauge, let's say, and maybe you want to vote on this Pengu gauge, you can select one or as many of these as you want. And then when you go vote, you see both of these come up. And then you just need to make sure that your voting power equals out to 100%. So you can do like 50-50, and then you're able to submit a vote. And yeah, so the way that you earn with that is essentially there's two ways. You get incentives. So for example, like the big protocol, they had actually put like something like $35,000 of incentives on their gauge, which basically means like all the voters on their gauge prior to, because Epoch 1 started like about a half a day ago, like 12 hours ago or something like that. So everyone that had voted for the big gauge got a chunk of that, like $35,000 of incentives. Right. So that's one way that you earn with your airdrop is you vote on gauges that have incentives, because these protocols want you to vote on their gauge. So they'll provide incentives for you to vote there. And then also you're gonna earn trading fees throughout the entire week, right? So everyone that voted on, for example, the big gauge prior to the epoch starting, all the fees that are generated throughout this week are gonna go to all those people that had voted on that. So, okay, got a request for the link. There it is. I'll be using the Perp Dex bullish. Yes, sir. Let's get that volume up. Perp Dex is super bullish for the whole ecosystem. You know, and again, we get that volume up, and we're going to show up a lot higher on the board of dexes. So let's get on the first page. We got to be top 20 to be on the first page. So it's not too hard to do. You know, we got to get over 350K volume roughly. I mean, I had like 20K volume just from doing a couple tests, so shouldn't be too hard to get up there. As you can see, I've lost a few bucks while I was testing. Thank you so much for explaining it. You always do such a good job explaining things. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I try my best. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you guys for today. Anybody have any? Oh, we got a question here. What's the best way to get some ETH into abstract? I'd highly suggest using these guys, relay.link. You can like most every transfer I've tried is like completed within seconds. Like you'll have your ETH in seconds. The fee's really cheap. Like for example, like moving 1 ETH from base to abstract, like you lose like almost nothing, right? And you get the ETH like almost instantly. And they should also, yeah. I mean, Relay is actually integrated the Borean DEX already as well. So, I mean, you definitely want to get some ETH over there so you can pay for gas fees, but you could also, you know, directly get ABX through Relay as well. I'll drop that link in the chat for you. All right, guys, any other questions or comments? I think I've covered most of what I wanted to cover. So once again, you can access the Perp Dex at dex.bookmemebsc.com, or the custom one, which works basically the same, is at bookdex.xyz. Your account's going to be the same across both. And this is the one, because this is the custom one. Like it, you know, you can see I've already added links to a bunch of the book stuff here, and this one is the one that I'll be working on to improve. But again, if you're on mobile, you're gonna notice that there's no there's no link to the menu. I'll fix that. But so I mean, for you might want to in the meantime just use the no code version, which is just the dex.bookmemebsc.com. I'll give it a couple more seconds to see if any other questions or comments roll in. And other than that, yeah, just had my position liquidated, or actually stop loss. So like, I think what did I have in here? Like 10 or 20 bucks or something like that. And, you know, I still have 7 because I set the stop loss. It would have been 0. Well, actually, I don't think it went low enough to liquidate me yet, but great AMA as always. Thanks, Aaron. You bet, man. Have fun doing these. All right, guys. Well, yeah, we got a really bright future ahead. A lot of big things coming in the immediate future. Super pumped to get our first huge major KOL on board. Should have that deal finalized early next week, and I'll super pumped to talk about that and announce it and start getting that underway. So this is your chance to kind of get in, before prices start to really move. So not financial advice, but do with that information what you like. But yeah, I'll see you guys around the community. Seems like questions and comments have dried up a little bit. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Enjoy your weekend coming up, and yeah, I'll see you guys around the community and next week on the AMA. See you guys.